What's going on in the world today? What's up, Facebook? What's up, America? Fired up today. Boom, boom, boom. All right, guys, what's up? We're going to give a few minutes for people to get synced in here. Hopefully we have audio. I'm just getting off some coaching calls. We've been on live and direct all morning. We've been crushing it on live and direct. We took some pre-approval attempts, set some appointments this morning. We were rocking it. No, I'm not getting on here and talking about EXP. I know a lot of people are moving over to EXP. A lot of people are going live. I want to add value. However, I am ecstatic to be rocking and rolling with EXP. My first week coming out, I think we added close to 50 to 60 people to the national team, to the Just Do It Club. So I'm very excited about that. But what I want to cover today, from vetting out a lot of businesses, taking it back to some of the basics, I want to talk about our pipeline. I want to really discuss and have a conversation around the telephone, rejection, CRMs, knowing your numbers, and the 3 Ps that's holding a lot of us back, and it's probably holding you back as well. Also, tons of leads are being generated across a lot of CRMs, low conversion. So I am going to give you my closing paragraph today. It's an optimized formula. It's helped me make a lot of money, not just in insurance, but across sales. So I'm going to give that to you today. Also want to talk about social selling and then the extra mile, why it's so lonely on the extra mile. So I've been live for a couple hours already this morning, so give me a few minutes. We'll get kicked off. If you can, smash that like button, get us shared out, do something, just do it. But when you talk about pipelines, there's 4 objectives that we should be trying to accomplish when we are filling our pipeline, managing our pipeline, all that stuff. And it's really essential to our success. Will every single lead that you generate convert into a home being sold? Of course not. That's why we have to consistently and relentlessly prospect, so that when we hear those no's, we're still ahead of the game, as long as you understand your numbers and how to scale a valid conversation or a contact to a listing appointment or a buyer's appointment. And if you can convert internet leads in between 5 to 8%, 8%, you're going to be leading the nation. Yes, a yes is great to hear with initial leads coming in, but your first job should not be trying to get out and sell them a home or set a listing appointment. It's to really understand the psychology and the process where they're at, and we'll get into that. What you're looking to do is fulfill one of the 4 main objectives, which is setting an appointment, being able to gather information, extract pain points, pleasure points, valuable information, build familiarity, create mind share with them, or to be able to negotiate a deal. These objectives will help you keep focused on your goals instead of just being all over the place with your conversation, and be able to control the format of this conversation. And what we're able to coach on, and what I coach on, is word tracks. When you're looking to basically set an appointment, you're looking to take a pre-approval attempt, process a mini application, and I'm not just talking about getting a name and a number and funneling them over to your lender, or saying, hey, a lender will call you. It's figuring out what their down payment is, what they're currently paying in rent, what their birth date is, where they actually work at, how much income they make, if anybody else is going to be on the loan with them. I even coach that we go as far as extracting Social Security numbers that's going to qualify that lead for your lender, setting buyer appointments, listing appointments, or setting a strategic follow-up with any home hunter alerts. And when I talk about gathering information and pleasure and pain, it's basically collecting any data that helps you identify if there's any goals, pain points, pleasure points, or time frames that you can help resolve. And if the prospect is going to be qualified down the road, and it's basically any data that can give you an edge, with helping with the power solution with whatever, one of your USPs, or unique selling proposition is what that means, or unique value proposition. understanding the psychological stages that they go through. But I'll get to that in a minute. I want to talk about also being able to build familiarity, and that's really geared towards increasing the likelihood that your potential prospect will engage with you when their buying or selling window opens. All right, and this can be achieved through drip emails, dripping houses on them, sequencing other drip campaigns, whether they're an A, B, or C lead, doing upfront research for them, and incorporating for years with our coaching clients live chat, making your website sticky to be able to bring that value over the duration of time, and being able to connect with them on social media so they can see your family, see your results, see the social proof, become familiar, build that familiarity with your brand, with your company, and with you. You need to be connecting with your database. Most CRMs, you can do reverse lookups, do a little bit of research before you even follow up what they like, what their hobbies are, so you can be more relatable to them. But when I talk about the psychological processes of internet leads, there are stages that they go through. And you really only want to be as motivated as they are or communicate with them on their terms. Usually when somebody goes to a website and they put their information in, usually what I say, they're in the curiosity stage, right? The fantasy stage, whatever, the dream stage. They're just maybe trying to figure out what side of town they're going to live in, how much square footage they can or can't afford. Just very broad, right? And most of those people are going to be 6 to 18 months away. And that's really what I call a C lead or even a watch, all right? And then the next psychological step that they take, or they should be making a move throughout your funnel, is what I call the information gathering stage. And this is more of a nurture or a B lead. All right, they're actually maybe gathering information about taxes on a home, information about a school district, maybe crime rate, whatever it may be. And you got to make sure that your drips and your sequences are in alignment with those time frames and where they're at psychologically in your funnel. And then the classic stage that we all hear is the just looking. All right. So we all hear just looking. However, this is a real psychological stage, but this is right before actively purchasing and actively out there looking. Maybe they're driving by, checking out neighborhoods, driving by and checking out the exterior of homes, right? This is the stage in between the B threshold and the A threshold before it's really when they're moving from that nurture into a hot. And then actively looking, actively purchasing. Just looking could be going to open houses, interviewing agents, and stuff like that. Actively looking, actively purchasing stage. So there's about 4 psychological stages that people will go through within 6 to 18 months that we have to understand with internet leads. As I'm able to vet a lot of your guys' business out, look at your funnel, you guys are generating leads without a doubt. However, there's a 1 to 2% conversion ratio. If you communicate with people on their terms and you're able to build that familiarity, really position your company, make your website sticky with the actual optimized close that I'm going to give you, a closing formula to get them to take actions off of their needs, wants, and desires and their keywords that they're giving you. You're going to be able to get in front of more people and close 5 to 8% month in, month out, year in, year out, without fail. Obviously closing is perhaps the most enjoyable part of being able to prospect, work with buyers, and all of that stuff. But it's just one of the 4 main objectives that you should be focused on when building your funnel. And if you're accomplishing any of these 4 things with a radical focus with your funnel, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, then you're winning. All right. And if you're doing anything less than that, you're not building a predictable database. All you're doing is cherry picking the hot stuff that comes in. And you're not nurturing, you're not building familiarity, and you're not going to have a predictable database with those B and C leads. Some agents mistakenly think once they get their pipeline filled and they're getting signs in yards, they're working with buyers, that it's time to switch gears and just start focusing only on the people at the bottom of the funnel. and focus on those deals. And so they stop focusing on the top end of the funnel, sifting and sorting and prospecting, building familiarity, extracting pain points, goals, hurdles, pleasure points, and all that stuff. And that's the last thing that you should do. The suspects that you're putting in your funnel today and you're building familiarity with are going to be the people at the bottom of your funnel in the next 90 to 120 days. That's why so many agents are on the roller coaster effect, and there's a lapse in their business. All right, even if you're experiencing massive success at this very moment, if you exploded into 2018, it's still important to persist and to prospect on your new data coming in, your to-dos, your tasks, your hot sheets, being able to respond to inquiries, even if they're 6-7 months out, whatever it may be. The brutal fact that I see, and the number one reason for failure in real estate, and even huge dips down on that roller coaster effect, is an empty pipeline. It's as simple as that. It's usually not a skill set. It's not a marketing issue with leads. It's being able to have that radical focus to continuously keep that oil pumping. And it's an empty pipeline. It's a root cause of failure. Not being able to lead gen and prospect daily, 2 to 3 hours a day. If you're going to be running an internet-based business, I don't care if it's seller internet leads. I have people that are partnering with me. One of the number one teams in a huge marketplace. We'll announce their name here soon. In the number one market center in the United States with KW, all they're doing is generating hundreds and hundreds of seller internet leads, and we're showing all of our other partners how to do that off of seller leads and running a 10 to 12 man seller listing team. The buyers will come if you get the signs in the yard, but you're really looking to generate anywhere between 30 to 40 new internet leads month in and month out, and then prospect 2 to 3 hours a day, no matter what, to keep that funnel pumping. All right, so that's big idea number one, that when you operate at a level 10, these are things that we could tend to take for granted, some of us alphas, as I'm able to speak with people running smaller teams, larger teams, single agents, and all that stuff over the last couple of months. And so, I wanted to highlight how important it is to keep a healthy pipeline and to keep that data in your pipeline clean. Leads in your database doesn't equal money in the bank or job security. I spoke with somebody a couple of days ago, and I'm like, how many leads do you have in your database? They're like, 5,000. Wow, that sounds great, right? 5,000 leads in a database. How many to-dos in relationships and strategic follow-ups do you have in that database that you're building familiarity with and going to offer them a power solution with a closing formula? And they're like 40, 50, something like that. And I said, I hate to break it to you, but your database is really only as big as 40 to 50 people, right? So we're going to cover about, 8 ideas today that I want to go on a rant on, right? Idea number 2 that I want to talk about is a telephone, mixed in with some power tools. To me, the telephone is the most powerful tool in the toolbox right now. The most powerful tool in sales, hand down, it is the telephone, mixed in with the auto dialer, the triple line dialer that we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Despite what some of the new age marketers are pitching with their secret formula that is going to be able to eliminate the phone. I mean, some of these people are calling me trying to sell me their program, and they're doing it over the phone, right? Everyone has a personal phone, and nearly all of them our phones act as a conduit for texting, social media on Facebook right now, email. Using the phone, just hammering it for prospecting calls is great. However, leveraging texting, social, and email is important. All right, calling and using the triple line dialer is going to have you reaching more people in less time, with a greater success rate if you commit to it daily and it's done correctly, hands down. A triple line dialer, guys, is something that dials out 3 lines at a time and Find You Connect. So it's basically like if I'm going to get on the phone and I'm going to start calling people one off on my phone, or even if I have a triple line dialer or a single line dialer, I'm only as good as that one line dialer, or as radical as I can, focus and dial out. However, if you're using a triple line dialer, it's like I've just hired or leveraged two more of myself, and I got three of me's working on the phone. I had a coaching client a couple of years ago that was just hand dialing, and they were setting up a call center. I'm like, look, I've never seen anyone successfully set up inside sales department, a call center, without running an auto dialer. You're going to have to move to an auto dialer. So he took some baby steps and got on a single line dialer, graduated, whatever, from the program, took some time off, came back into my domain, been coaching the gentleman for a little bit again. I'm like, look, man, get on this triple line dialer. He got on the triple line dialer, and he's been in business a long time. He's an independent, runs his own brokerage, and he's like, man, I don't know why I haven't been doing this sooner. He's like, I want to walk around with this thing strapped on my hip all day long because it puts him at more at-bats and he's hitting more home runs. Dude has a phenomenal skill set. He's great at influencing others and solving problems and getting people to take action. And he just needed more at-bats. And now he's setting a couple of appointments a day versus a couple of appointments a week. So it really expedites that process. So if you're not using a triple line dialer, get on it. And if you're using a single line dialer, good for you. It's a start. Bust those training wheels off and get on that triple line dialer. Even a lot of people that are generating tons of internet leads that a couple of people I was able to speak with just in the last week, they're like, Adam, I mean, I'm just so much better in person, right? And I've heard that 1,000 times, even with a lot of the people I've coached and have worked for me in the past and all that stuff. And my response is, of course you are, right? We all are. I'm better face-to-face than over the phone, right? But that's no excuse to be able to have a radical focus, especially if you're spending thousands of dollars on your funnel and generating internet leads, to not pick up the phone. Everybody's looking for this silver bullet, right? Where I'm just going to text them, I'm just going to email, and they just think I'm so great, or my drips are so great that they're going to reach back out to me and want to buy a home. I mean, that's a myth. I mean, you will, if you have your funnel set up correctly and your emails are tight and sequenced and you have customized a home hunter alert to where it's very exact for the criteria that they're looking for. I mean, people are going to start coming back to you. However, the telephone and prospecting is the secret sauce everyone is looking for, but nobody wants it. And they don't want to admit it because it's hard work. And I will say, for every single real estate agent and ISA and anyone even outside of real estate, calling is emotionally taxing, all right? Not just with internet leads. I've seen it with current clients. I know agents that can't even follow up and talk to their active listings with people that they have signs in their yards, or they can't even follow up with people that have hired them they've signed agency with, right? Let alone prospect for new business. And I mean, that's a problem. We are in the business of influencing others. I recommend really changing our perspective, how we're able to radically influence and reach out to others and approach this task and leverage your phone with enthusiasm and gratitude. I mean, being able to sculpture appreciation within yourself and the phone it will change your life. I mean, it's helped me and others generate millions and millions of dollars in GCI predictably. And we're lucky to be able to have it in our times. It's really a gift from other generations that allows us to be able to run these predictable businesses and period to that. And so, and don't just make a couple calls here and there. I see people, I made 5 calls today. I've made 10 calls today. You can't pick up momentum by just hitting a few calls and leads as they're coming in. Yeah, response rates are good. If you can hit response rates within that, 5-minute mark, within 20-minute mark, that's awesome. But if you never sit down for like power hours or jam sessions, whatever that I call them, you're never going to pick up that momentum. You're never going to be able to get the marbles out of your mouth. You're never going to get in that flow state. And so I would have jam sessions of, it's kind of like working out, right? Do it for 30 minutes until you can build up a tolerance. Then get to an hour, 90 minutes. I would like to see jam sessions up around 90 minutes. Eliminate email, no internet, no dings, no Facebook, no chit-chat, no bathroom breaks. Commit to having a radical focus and getting in that zone, all right? And then the next question people are always going to ask, okay, well, I'll do that, but when's the best time to prospect, right? It's like anytime's the best time to prospect. Like, when's the best time to go live on Facebook? Shit, I'm sure there's better times than others. However, I'm just getting off coaching calls. I got other calls this afternoon, so I'm just going to hit this live button and go on a quick rant. It's Thursday. We're back to live and direct. But if you strategically want to play the math, there is golden hours out there from past research and what I've seen over the years. And if you want to play the math and build around the best time to actually qualify or make contact with your leads, hit it at 7:30 in the morning to 11. All right? And then the contacts are going to drop off in between 11 and 3:30 or 4. And pick back up and start prospecting in between 3:30 and 4 up until 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So if you're a morning person, all right, if you're up at whatever, you're part of the 5 a.m. club or whatever, that thing's kind of spawned off over the last year. If you're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, get your calls knocked out in the morning, right? However, I believe in being able to manage your energy. And if you're more of an afternoon person, then hit your calls in the afternoon in between that 3:30 and 4:30. All right. But the best time to prospects is just to get on the phone and get through it. It's usually those are built-in excuses. Because I guarantee when I always hear the words, but you don't understand, Adam, I'm so much better at, not even face-to-face, but you name it, blah, 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 comes out of one of your agent's mouth or somebody else when it comes in to picking up the phone and being in a jam session or power hours. Whenever I hear anything come out of their mouth and as a rebuttal to prospecting technique or using the auto dialer or jam sessions or the best times to prospect, I guarantee almost 99% of the time that agent is underperforming, and they're not an icon agent. I mean, they're not somebody that's going to be in the Just Do It club, right? They're not part of the Just Do It movement. I'll give you an example. I had an agent that I was working with that had a hard time, and if you don't have a magic wand, you better get one. If you're part of the Just Do It club, give me a thumbs up if you know all about that magic wand. I had somebody that was struggling being able to extract motivation out of internet leads and time frames. And one of the things that I learned from somebody 7 or 8 years ago was a technique called the magic wand, all right? And you're able to hit them with, hey, real quick, if you had a magic wand, how soon would you like to be in your next home? Or how soon would you like to be able to get your home sold? Right? And they will always laugh and be like, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. Yesterday. When's the last time somebody told you they wanted to sell their home or buy a home yesterday? With the magic wand and on our live and direct calls, and by the way, you can get on them for free if you end up, if you're part of the network and partner me with EXP. We hear that with using the magic wand stuff. Shameless plug. Anyways, we're able to hear time frame, and then we hit them with a follow-up question. Great. What needs to happen next? Right? And they're going to tell you what needs to happen. You can even use some leaders. And what I mean by leaders is, great, what needs to happen next? Are you saving up for a down payment, cleaning up a credit score, are you in a lease? Help me understand that. And they'll usually tell you exactly what needs to happen within whatever time frame they give you. Now you're in alignment. You can be as motivated as they are. And you also know what their pain is, what their hurdles are, what their goals are, and then you can customize your solution around that. All right. The guy that I was coaching this to was like, that's cheesy as hell. It would never work. I can't use that, right? And we were on with other people, and he was talking crap. And then I had other people making live calls way more skilled than this guy that were using it, and he's over there scratching his head like, well, I guess it still works. And it took him months before he started using it because he was in his own, he was trapped in his own belief system. He had he had this limiting belief. I'm a high D, he's a high D. Being able to deliver the magic wand doesn't make you less of a man, right? If you had a magic wand, how soon would you like to move into your next home? It's as simple as that. Also, I'll give you guys another little tip here with voicemail. If you guys are going to be running these auto dialers, pre-record your voicemail where you're able to drop it on voicemails or leave voicemails and just drop them, because I call it digital farming, right? I got thousands or hundreds of voicemails. It's jammed up. I mean, I don't listen to them. Who does, right? But if you're going to leave voicemails, don't try to repeat yourself every single time you leave a voicemail, right? Have a pre-recorded one where it's well thought out, it's outlined, it's scripted, and you're able to deliver it on your best day, right? Where, you know, if you're having a bad day, it doesn't translate to that voicemail. And so pre-record your voicemails in your auto dialer and drop them with consistencies, and you will get some callbacks. I prefer not to leave voicemails, at least on the first 3 to 5 calls, because I want to create some curiosity around that phone number, and then people, you know, call me back. Curiosity will always win. If you are going to leave a voicemail, just identify your first name, say your number twice, say why you're calling, give them a reason to call you back with a call to action, and you'll start to get maybe 5 to 7% call you back. However, I'd rather not drop them, have them call you back. Also, when you have new leads coming in, who would like to boost their contact ratio by 25%, 30%? Track it. I call it double dialing. When new leads come in and you call someone, hang up and call right back. Your contact ratio will boost up, right? Just the law of curiosity gets the better of them. I've tracked this for a long time. I've even had new coaching clients do it, and we make live calls together, and I mean, the math is there. So play to the math. Double dial. Guys, I got a call at 12, so here I want to kind of burn through some of these other ones. Number 3 I want to talk about is vulnerability and rejection. I was drinking too much coffee today. All right, guys, so I haven't even been checking Facebook. Let me all right, sorry, guys. If there's questions there, I'll get to them. I didn't have Facebook pulled up, guys. I just smashed that like button. But anyway, so I want to talk about vulnerability and rejection before my 12 o'clock. Getting that no in sales, I mean, no matter how many times you've heard it before, it's painful, right? This is exactly why prospecting is so challenging. It creates an opportunity for rejection, all right? There's reflex responses, there's brush-offs, there's objections, It's the hard part of sales, right? Generating internet leads, interrupting people, and it's a necessary part of the game. As you learn to manage your emotions and your emotional response, and you're able to bounce back and predict what the client is going to say, it becomes easier to get past those, because most of the things people call rejections and think they need slick rebuttals for, they're just buying questions and selling questions that are being distorted by the actual agent because they're really not a professional, right? So striving to be 100% unaffected is really unrealistic. Even the most experienced salespeople outside of real estate, across real estate, we feel a nagging pain when we hear no. But being able to recognize this and know it's not a sign of weakness, right? I feel it. I don't like being told no. It's just a sign of, we're human. And it's actually an important part of our business, all right? While the inner psychology of rejection and vulnerability may feel like that it's more than you have signed up for as an agent, if you're a new agent on here, I will tell you that it's not going to be easy to get over that, but it will be worth it, especially with internet leads when you're just calling and saying, hey, thank you for registering on my website. See, you looked at a couple of homes, didn't know if I could answer any questions you may have or if I could just really understand your home buying situation. It's pretty easy, right? Once you get over that, it's going to be worth it. I promise you. We all feel that resistance, that fear when we're prospecting. It's the inner doubt that somebody's not going to like us or they're going to say no to us. It's that potential for rejection. It's the threshold, what I call between fear and action, right? Is that rejection that's really holding us back from massive results. It's that fear of like, don't never call me again, loser, or being yelled at. I mean, that feeling is connected to our deepest subconscious fears. People would rather leave thousands and thousands, if not millions of dollars of commissions on the table than encounter a rejection. That's crazy to me. I don't give a flying what somebody thinks if I'm going after adding value and I can help one person and I'm going to be able to take care of my family, build a business, help other people. It's just crazy to me. I put in the Inside Sales group. If you're not part of that group, go over there too. I drop a lot of stuff in there. Inside Sales, experts, ISA, real estate, whatever. I put in that group, agents would rather swim around with sharks with meat strapped to their hip than prospect. 90% of the agents. All right. But I will say, once you're trained appropriately, you look forward to it when you can run a predictable business. I will say prospects are also scared too of being pressured into an appointment. Nobody wants to see a damn presentation. No prospect wants to be made to look stupid or be treated disrespectfully. You know, that's why they lie about their needs, wants, and desires, and they subconsciously do that to you and give you the brush offs and try to move on from that sales interaction. Because they don't trust you as a professional to be in alignment with their time frames, to really come from that place of empathy and understanding of what needs to happen to help them achieve X, Y, Z. The techniques, the techniques that I teach is able to harness that energy to be able to take action with the prospect, because what we offer them and what I'm about to give you guys is a closing formula off of keywords to get them to take action. All right. I talk about being able to anchor, disrupt, pattern interrupts, and then being able to ask or have an optimized close. Real quick, I'll talk about anchoring before I get into the closing paragraph with you guys. You know, anchoring basically serves the purpose of allowing your brain to catch up with that initial rejection, right? An anchor statement is like a ledge that we can hold on to that gives us something to hang on to until we can pivot to the next step or structure of our call. What I mean by that, after you hit people with the intro, I just kind of gave you an example of the intro. I expect people to say, I'm just looking, I'm not in the market to buy a home, the website made me register, I'm a long ways out, right? And usually that's their brush off, because with amateurs, they're like, well, I just wanted to see how the search was going on the website. Okay, just let me know how the emails are coming and what's going on. Like, that's their brush off. So I anchor to that. I embrace that just looking, not in the market to buy a home, before I pivot to adding value into their life. I'm going to make a deposit of value before I make a withdrawal from this relationship. Fantastic, outstanding. Most people that register on our website are just looking. I use that keyword, whatever keyword they say, I echo that keyword back to them. All right? They're just looking, just like yourself. So you're in the perfect spot. You're going through the perfect process. However, here's what I can do for you today. Then I pivot to adding value and making that deposit into their life, right? Through that conversation of that structure of a call, area of town, if they're working with other agents, any, other amenities that they're looking for in a home, if they're working with any other agent, I'm going to extract motivation, pain points, what their goals are, time frame, because I'm adding value. I'm customizing the site to fit their specific need. This is more than a website. You're more than a lead. You are a human being, and we are here to be a resource to you. So let me add some value, right? Then their guard drops because they're not being sold. They're not being talked over. They're not being closed with a cheesy, closing script that most of America has or can go download on any coaching site. We're going to tailor this to them through actively listening, right? Being able to disrupt them and use pattern interrupts. I'm not going to get into some of that stuff right now because I'm up against some time. But when you take notes, majority of you guys, almost all of you guys, when you're on the phone, you're taking notes because you're going to have to add that stuff back into a CRM, right? However, we have a deficiency of closers across the nation. Nobody likes to close because of the stigma to it. However, I agree, you shouldn't be reading closing paragraphs that are word for word, and you shouldn't be closing when the prospect isn't in a position to be closed, right? So here's what I mean by the closing paragraph. When it's optimized, everything I teach is optimal, it's optimized, just like Google. When you go to Google, and I go to my phone, and I type in whatever keyword I put in at Google, I want, or you want, what to pop up? What? You want to see that keyword in the headlines, in the body of the content, in the ads, and you're going to be more attracted to that because that's the key word that you're looking for. So they're giving you guys keywords, and you're writing them down, but the closing formula I'm going to give you today, and you guys better take some notes right here. This is where I would pause, and rewind. Because what you do with the keywords and the information that they give you is going to determine how many commas you have in your bank account. Simple as that. I don't care how great the leads are. I don't care if you're on a radio. I don't care how well your website converts. I don't care if these are sign calls. I don't care if these are referrals. I mean, if you can't get people to take actions on their needs, wants, and desires and the information that they give you and solve problems or enhance pleasure problems, you might as well just go get a job. So here's where we're at. When we have these keywords, we're going to write down first, because one of the things I specialize is in, and then draw a line, okay? I got this from one of my multi-million-dollar copywriting mentors out of Arizona about 10 years ago. I paid, he taught me this, and it changed my life, all right? And I practice it still to this day. All right. One of the things I specialize in is, and then draw a line. Okay. And then write, anyways, if I could show you how to draw another line, is that going to be worth a few minutes of your time to see how that could work for you and your family? Okay. You guys got that? I'm dropping some damn nuggets today, man. I'm feeling good. After speaking with a lot of people and connecting with a lot of you guys, man, I was able to pull some inspiration from you guys. I wanted to be able to add some value and give back. Okay, here's what you need to plug into the blanks that I gave you. One of the things I specialize in is, and ethically use this, guys. Like, you have to be able to be competent in these areas of helping them. One of the things I specialize in is I'm going to plug in pain points, pleasure points, time frames they've gave me, hurdles, or goals that they're looking to hit. Okay? Anyways, if I can show you how to, and then plug in there what is going to be their net result if they take action towards your offering that they're going to experience. What is going to be their net experience, all right? If you understand the 6 laws of how to influence other people, if they like you, if there's some social proof tied into it, if they see you as an authority and the expert person, and you've been consistent with communicating with them, there's no reason for them to take action because they just gave you the key words that they're looking for. Right? And so you want to optimize those keywords into the pain box, the pleasure box, right? The goal box, the time frame box. Those are their keywords. You plug in the keywords that they gave you into that. Whatever that is, that's up to you to be creative and plug that in and articulate that. And then the creative side also, anyways, if I could show you how to, what is going to be the net result if they trust you, like you, and believe in you enough to help them resolve that pain, enhance that pleasure? What is that net result going to look like? You have to articulate that with your own keywords in a vibrant, articulate way, right? I'll give you just some basic examples. One of the things we specialize in is working with first-time home buyers that's relocating into the Wichita area just like yourself. Anyways, if I could show you how to make sure the contract's weighted in your favor, attempt to get your closing costs paid for, attempt to get you a home warranty, look after your fiduciary responsibility, would that be worth a few minutes of your time to accept my invitation to meet me to see how this could work for you and little Jimmy and your wife? Right? You want to work in their key words, right? It's almost, they can't say no to this. All right? One of the things I specialize is helping people in real estate, rainmakers, that run teams just like yourself explode and expand your business. Anyways, if I could show you how to sell 20 to 30 homes week in and week out without fail, just like I've been able to do before, would that be worth a few minutes of your time to see how that could work for you and your business? Right? If I could show you how to, most rainmakers are trying to grow their business, explode their business, expand their business, multiply their business, build their teams. If I could show you how to, the net result is going to be closing more deals. I made it very specific, tied in a number, week in, week out. And then is that going to be worth a few minutes every time? Anyways, if I could show you how to get your home sold so you can move on to the next city and catch up with your wife and your kids, not have to carry this mortgage payment anymore, and get it done in the fastest amount of time for what the current market would bear, would that be worth a few minutes of your time? Something like that, you can play around with it. I could sit here all day. It's better when we're role-playing and we're extracting these keywords, pain keywords, pleasure keywords, and then practice putting it into a closing paragraph. You'll know when you can close. One of the things we specialize is working with people that have low credit or trying to mix and match the right lender program for them, just like yourself. Anyways, if we could show you how to find the best program that's going to work for you and your family, would that be worth a few minutes of your time to see which one of our lending programs work best for you? Right? Something like that. One of the things, and also if you're going to build a client care department or something like that, to be able to go through the pre-approval process, don't say pre-approval, pre-qualified. Those are sticky industry words that we give a shit about, but they don't. Add value, create curiosity. Offer solutions. Be able to ask questions like, "Oh, how'd you come up with that price range?" Okay. Well, out of curiosity, do you know what your debt to income ratio is? Oh, no, I don't. Oh, wow. You should know that information. I got some good news. By creating an account with us, we can let you know that information for free, no obligation. Just need to take a little bit of information. Do you know your credit score? Oh, wow. We can let you know that for free, right? Just add value. Make those deposits so when you go through the structure of a call and you have all the keywords and you have everything you need for a power optimized close, that's what it's about. Guys, we got about three more big ideas I wanted to cover. I have a 12 o'clock call. I thought I'd move through these a hell of a lot quicker than what I am. Let me see here if there's any questions. Let me hop over here, guys. Sorry. So I wanted to cover using your CRM like a CEO. I wanted to talk about that. I think people are underusing their CRM. I wanted to touch on that. I want to talk about social selling, man. It is over crammed down our throat in today's society, and I wanted to talk about how it's building your pipeline, how you can leverage it in real estate to build your pipeline. I want to talk about knowing your numbers, what to track, all right? What metrics you should be looking for, because knowing your numbers is kind of like professional athletes. Every single professional athlete knows their batting average, knows their minute per mile. They know all their stats. They track their progress. They isolate the areas for improvement. They focus their energy in those areas of improvement. They stay grounded. It's no different with us. And so I wanted to cover that today. Maybe my next live, I was probably underestimating what my rant was how much time it was going to take. So I want to talk about how to be able to put people through a whole core sales process to be able to be a professional. I mean, you just can't have you just can't trick yourself into, like, I'm having a great day, I know what I'm doing, I have a good sense of how I'm doing, I'm really busy, and I'm already filling my pipeline, and I'm doing everything, like a damn CEO. I don't have time to track anything else, right? However, athletes, they track everything, no matter how busy they are, and you should too. I track everything. I track all metrics. Even the most self-aware of us need to be able to track our metrics and measure them. And so maybe my next live, I'll cover that. Without knowing this objective knowledge, I'm telling you, you won't be able to predict your business. You won't stay grounded. And success does not easily coexist with this delusion that we tell ourselves, because we as human beings have a natural tendency to distort information based off our own lenses or our own individual experiences. Time is truly relative. When we're blazing through our day, just like with me, I'm losing track of time here, not getting through everything. It's easy to just lose ourselves in our work day, and we're able to know if we're staying on track or off track by tracking all of our stuff. I wanted to touch on the 3 P's that's holding us back: perfectionism, procrastination, and paralysis by analysis. And then I was going to end with some motivation, but let me pull Facebook up. Back up, guys. I didn't pull it up so you guys couldn't distract my rant, but let me see what's up. I'll tie them other ones back into like a part 2. We'll do this as a part 1. If you guys got questions, fire them away, and then I will answer them. I'll go back in and answer them. Alright, guys, so drop your questions down there. I'll spend some time once I get off this call here in a bit following up with them. Only got through half of the bulletin points I wanted to get through, so we'll smash that live button again, man. I feel good. I'm excited about 2018. Hopefully you're feeling the same way. I will say, thank you to the 50 people that joined the Just Do It movement and Just Do It club and getting in business with me across the nation. We're going to be adding a lot more people over the weeks to come. I'm blessed to be able to influence and help more people, and let's stay after it, guys. You guys have a good afternoon. Just do it. Later.